Hi, this is Jordan Teen 1, and today I'll be showing you how to make the Open Starburst in a heart charm. And it was inspired by the Open Starburst in a circle, which was created by Fay Bee. So I took that concept and I made it into a heart charm. And here is what it looks like. So this one I did red and white, and you can see how it looks like a heart in the center. And then here's what it looks like on the reverse side. And the one I'm going to be doing today is going to be using black and pink, and I've actually already made one of those, and here's what it's going to look like. I'm going to be making it on the full-size rainbow loom, and you want to have your pins set up in a rectangular shape so that they're all in line with one another. And we're going to be working with basically these 6 pins in a rectangle, but I will be using some of these other pins on the right here as a holding spot for some of the bands. Today I'm using Rainbow Loom brand rubber bands in black and pink, and you're going to need 31 black bands and 11 pink bands. So I'm going to start by taking 2 black rubber bands, taking them both at once, and I'm going to go to the 4th pin up in the center row, and I'm going to place these 2 black bands diagonally up and to the left. So I'm just putting them on both at once. And now I'm going to take 2 more black bands, and this time they're going to go from this 4th pin up in the center row, and they're going to stretch diagonally down and to the left. So it's going to look like a sideways V. And now I want to place a cap band on this pin here in the center. And I need this to be doubled. So in order to double the band, I'm just going to place it on my hook, twist, and put it back on. And then I'm just going to place those 2 rubber bands right on that pin. And now what I want to happen is I want the bottom black bands to come up through the pink bands. So I'm just going to take them off in order. So the first 2 black bands are going to go diagonally to the left, but I'm not moving them back on themselves. I'm going to move them to this pin here. So I'm just going down through, pushing back, getting those top 2 black bands. I'm going to hold this cap band in place so it doesn't come off. And I'm just moving that down to the next pin below. And now I'm going to go back down through here, remove the bottom 2 black, and they are going to move to the pin above. Now I want to take this pink band here that's on this middle pin and just release it. So this is just hanging in the middle. And now what I'm going to do is take the top half of this circle, so the top 2 pink bands here, and I'm just going to put them on the pin to the left. And now I want to take 2 pink rubber bands and put them from the pin in the center here on the left and move it to the next one over to the right. And now I am going to take the bands that are on this pin and move them over the top. So now these 2 pink bands are in the center of this circle. And now I'm going to take the pink rubber band that's on the top. Just going to grab this very top one. I'm going to move it to the right here. And then I want the bottom half of that top rubber band, which is now going to be in the middle. You see there's 3 rubber bands on this pin, so I want that middle rubber band to come over the top. That's just going to make a slip knot with this top pink band. So now I'm going to take it off, gently wiggle it back and forth to make that slip knot go snug against there, and I'm just going to place it on this pin just for the moment as a holding place. Now I want to do the same thing to this other pink band, taking it from the left here and moving it over. And now I want the bottom rubber band to come over the top to make that slip knot. And now I'm going to take this off, wiggle it back and forth to make it snug against. And now what I'm going to do is place this back on the pin to the left. And I'll do the same thing for this other pink one. I want to just get it out of the way. So these are the bands that are going to run down either side of the charm to make the inner part of the heart. Now what I'm going to do is take a black rubber band, and it's going from the bottom on the left over to the middle row, and then again from the top here I want another black one to go over, and now I want the bottom rubber band to come over the top on all 4 of these pins. I'm going to push this down, and now I'm going to add my first pink band. It's going from this center row here, from the bottom pin to the next one up. And now I want to take the pink band that is on the top of this pin up here on the left. I'm going to just take it off, and it's going to change positions and move diagonally down and to the right. And so now I'm going to take this pink band that is stretched underneath here, and it's just going to come off of this pin and move down towards me. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side here. So I'm going to take a pink band that's going from the center pin and moving up. And now I want this other pink band to come off and move diagonally up and to the right. So it's going over top of this pink band, and now I want this to move from the center and go up like that. So now it's just wrapped around this band. And now I'm going to take these pink bands here that are on the far right, and they're just going to go back to where they were on the left. Just put them right on this pin in the middle. And now I want the bottom rubber band just on these center row pins to come off. And now I'm going to add 3 more layers of black. So I want one on the bottom pins, and then also on the top. That will be my first layer. And then I will remove the bottom rubber band from each of these pins. Going to push this down, and now I'll add a second layer of black, doing it for both sides here. Remove that bottom layer. This time on the center row I have the pink bands that need to come off, and I'm actually going to take them both at once. It's the only time you're going to be removing more than one band. It's when you have these pink bands to come off. And I have to do the one on the other side here, the top. So that was my second layer of black, and then here's my third. And again, I'm removing one band from the bottom. And so now I'm ready to do the pink again. So I'm going to do the same process as I did before. The first pink band is going in the center here, from the bottom to the middle. And now I need this upper pink band to come to the right. And now this pink band can come off of the center pin and move down. That's just looping it around this band here. That's going to be one side of the heart. And I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. So it's going in the middle row from the center up. And now this upper band is going to cross it. And now I want the center to come up. Now it's wrapped around that band. And now I'm going to just move these bands back up to the top again. We just have to keep resetting them in the right position so we're ready for when we have the next pink bands to come on. So the next thing I want to do before I add my black layers is just remove the bottom band from the center row. Don't forget that step. Since we placed the pink bands on this row, we have to remove the bottom. And so now I am going to do 3 more layers of black. And then remove the bottom. And this is my second layer. And once again, remove the bottom. Now this time we have the 2 pink bands in the center that need to come off. And I have the 1 black from this side. And now this is my third layer of black. And now I'm ready to do my next set of pink bands. So again, I'm following this same pattern, putting this band on, and now the one on the left, it needs to come down. And now this one needs to wrap around it. And then from the center up. And the other one at the left here can come down. And this one's going to wrap around. And now I need to place these pink bands back to the left again. This is the last time I'm going to have to do this. And now I want that bottom rubber band just in this center row to come off. Now I'm going to do 3 more layers of black. And then remove the bottom. And then here's why I have the 2 pink. And 1 more layer of black. And now I have 1 more set of pink bands to do. Now I want this to come down. And this is going to go around it. And I'll do the same thing for the other side here. And now I am going to take these bands and just move them, just so they're going to be out of the way. I'll move them to the center here, because I still need to be doing looping on these 2 pins when I have to remove the bottom layer. So I'll just set them right on this center pin in the middle row. And now I have to remove that bottom layer just on the center row here. And now I have to add 3 more layers of black. We're getting to the end here. So this is the second layer. Keep pushing this down. I have 1 more layer to do. And now what I'm going to do is take the rubber bands that are on the left-hand side and move them over to the right. So there's going to be 2 rubber bands on here. I'm going to pick them both up and just carefully move them over. Just make sure that they both make it on that pin. And I'm going to do the same thing at the top here. I want these 2 bands to move over. And now I want the pink bands to move over to the right side that they're on. So the one on the top here is going to move up, sit right on top of that pin, and the one here is going to move down. So now I have all my bands on these 2 pins. And now you should have 1 black band left. And what I'm going to do is just place it across all of these pins. It's going in the center row all the way across these 3 pins. And now I'm going to take all of these bands that are at the bottom here closest to me, and I'm going to pull them over so they're sitting on this band. So it's pretty many rubber bands on here, so I'm not going to do them all at once. I'll just take the first couple layers, slide them on, and then I'll take the rest of them. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Pick up just those first couple layers and slide them on, and now get the rest. And so now I'm going to take this rubber band, leave it on my hook, be very careful not to let it go, and I'm going to pick up the rubber band on the other side here. And now I can remove this from the loom. So I have these 2 rubber bands left on my hook. And now, if you want to, you can add a clip to the bottom, but then you're going to see that clip, and you probably don't want to do that unless you want to hide it on the back side. But what I'm going to do is take an additional black rubber band. I'm going to get it on my hook, and I'm just going to slide it through these 2 bands and put the loop back on, and then I'm just going to pull one end through the other to make a slip knot. I'm going to pull that really tight so it doesn't come apart. And now all I have to do is hide this within the charm. So I'm just going to reach my hook through, and I'm just going to pull this loop around, and then it's still going to hang out, so I'm going to do that again. I'm just going to loop it around. So I will grab it on my hook and just loop it around again. So I'll just do that a couple of times until I can no longer see it. I think I have to do it again till it's sort of hidden within. And then here is my charm. So you can see that the bands in the middle make this heart shape, and then here's what it looks like on the reverse side. And you may want to do a little bit of adjusting to it. For example, down here at the bottom, if you want to take your hook and put it inside and just pull down, it'll make that loop a little bit lower, which makes the bottom of the heart come together a little bit more, makes more of a point. And then at the top here, there's a pink circle which the bottom part of that is what makes this part of the heart. If you want that to be a little bit more down so it's a little bit more visible, you can just pull on this loop a little bit, and that'll make this drop down a little bit. Maybe if I put it on the desk, it'll make a little bit more of a better background here. You can see the shape of the heart a little bit better. And then here's what it looks like on the reverse side. So you can just play around with it until you get it to look how you'd like it. You can move the outside bands around a little bit too to get it to form more of that heart shape. And then here is the other one that I had made that I showed you at the beginning with the red and white. I hope that everyone had fun making their Open Starburst in a heart charm. You can always leave me comments on YouTube and Facebook, post pictures of your creations to my Facebook page, and please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can stay up to date on my latest tutorials. You can also find me on Instagram and Pinterest, so please feel free to subscribe to those as well. Thanks for watching!